Lakeisha McKnight is here, and we're going to get started with the TKO Night Show in just a few more seconds, just giving more people an opportunity to jump on to the platforms with us. So thank you so much for your patience, and we're going to get started shortly. All right. Let's prepare ourselves to transition and to dive into our content on tonight. All right, everybody. Again, welcome. My name is Lakeisha McKnight, and I'm the host of the Leadership TKO Night Show. So again, I just want to welcome you onto this particular show. Now, the purpose of the show is really to give you some insight about how to grow as a winning leader, how to become a winning leader. Now, of course, if you've missed our launch videos where we spoke about the significance of what TKO stood for, you can definitely go back and watch those videos. Those videos have been uploaded and posted onto the Facebook fan page. So if you're new, you're watching this, of course, we have several platforms that we're operating from on tonight. We have some people who may be on the conference call. We also have some individuals who are watching live. And then we also have some individuals who are tuning in via our podcast. So either way, thank you so much for joining us here with the night show. So, of course, I may be glancing in different directions right now, just ensuring, of course, that I'm engaging everyone. I want to make sure, of course, that my volume is doing well. So if you're watching, or if you're listening in, let me know if you can hear me okay. If the video stream is doing well, if the audio is doing okay, you can let me know on Facebook, depending on where you're listening or watching from. So again, thank you so much. I just want to say that in advance. Feel free, of course, to share this information with other people. Let them know that they can join in with us so they can learn more about how to enhance themselves professionally. We have a very special topic, one of my favorite topics we're going to talk about on tonight. So be sure, of course, you spread the love. Share this particular thread. Let people know that you're tuning in live. You're really trying to enhance yourself to become a winning leader, not just an ordinary leader, because we're going to help you to move from ordinary to extraordinary. That is the goal here. Moving you from ordinary to extraordinary. So be sure to do that. And when you are here, if you're on the live stream, definitely let me know where you're watching from. For those of you who are on the conference call or conference line, depending on if you have access to your computer, you can definitely do that and jump in anywhere that you can on the Facebook event page. And for those of you who are on podcasts and you want to connect on the other platforms, feel free to do so. You can connect with me on Facebook at facebook.com/leadership keynote speaker. Again, that's facebook.com/leadership keynote speaker for those of you who are on the conference line or you're on the podcast listening in. We have not been on the podcast platform in some time, so I'm quite sure those of you who are regular listeners, you're enjoying this opportunity to be able to tune in from various places around the world. So thank you so much for those of you confirming and letting me know that the stream is doing well. Appreciate it. So let me just jump in, of course, on Facebook, letting you know what our topic is really going to be tonight. I'm quite sure you're interested in really knowing about this topic here. We're going to really talk about some real steps, strategies on how to move towards full-time entrepreneurship. Okay, full-time entrepreneurship. And we understand the whole big old fuss, I want to say, or even the debate when it comes to making the transition. There are people who have their own different philosophies, and I'm just going to share with you some real strategies, some real tips on how to make this happen, okay? Because many of you, including myself, has once worked in the corporate world, okay? And so I want to give you some of the tips, some of the strategies that I've been given and tips that I know that actually work. Okay. And so again, thank you so much in advance for those of you who are tuning in live here for this particular show. I'm super excited. Hopefully you're super excited about the information to share. Now, if you're trying to figure out, well, who is Lakeisha McKnight? Who is this individual who is on the phone line, who is on this live stream, sharing with information about how to really make this transition? Well, for those of you who don't know, I had my start and did a lot of work in corporate. I worked a lot with families and children. I also helped to empower them to really become a stable unit. I've also helped in the area of just motivating young people in the school systems to lower the statistics of racial crime in the high school system. And that's really where I have my platform when it comes to honing and strengthening my speaking skills. Okay. And so I had my foundation there, and then make the transition and receive the call into ministry. For those of you who are not aware, receive the call into ministry, still actively involved in doing that. And we're actually going to be doing some more work in the coming weeks. So you want to stay tuned for that. And then, definitely moving forward and wanting to empower and inspire beyond the four walls of the church, okay, or at least the church building, because everybody knows the church is the people, right? So that's what I wanted to do, and I had a heart to do it, and so began to do research. Didn't really have a whole lot of mentors or coaches at the time, so I really learned from the school of hard knocks, because I did not have all of the people to give me that guidance, right? Made my mistakes, wasted some money in the process, and hopefully helping individuals such as yourself to be able to avoid wasting time and wasting money. That's what I want to help you to do, to be able to make that transition. Is it going to be a smooth one? Moving from employee to entrepreneurship? No, it's not. I am going to be truthful. It's work. Okay? It's work. It's work. So let's just dive in to give you this real, true content, right? And if you're new, again, feel free to learn more about Leadership TKO and what we stand for by going to leadershiptko.com. That is our website where you can learn more. And I'm going to share with you how you can get an exciting bonus for being on the podcast, the live stream, just being a part of the show on tonight, because you are here and listening in. All right. So let me get my notes out. I have my notes, my handy dandy notes. Okay. All right, awesome sauce. All right, guys, so let me get it out. All right, so I have a few things, okay? If I don't emphasize this enough, I want you to listen up, okay? Steve Harvey couldn't be more true when he said, take the leap, okay? He didn't tell something false when he said that your parachute will get stuck, right? And you may crash. Yeah. So I am going to give you the real deal. I do not want you to be afraid, but I want to make sure you have the facts right here in front of you. Okay. So when making the transition, just a few nuggets. I'm not going to give you all that I have because I have quite a few notes written down. But here's what I want you to do. Take down this particular nugget here. I want you to acknowledge this major life transition that's coming before you. For those of you who have yet to make the transition, acknowledge it. It is a major life decision to move from employee to entrepreneurship. Okay. Now, there are two types of entrepreneurships. Can I be honest with you? There's one where you're self-employed, and then there's another where you're a business owner. So again, let me repeat that. There's one where you're self-employed. This is where you're actually owning a job. You think you're running a business, but you're owning a job. Okay. You're owning a job. So I want you to make this distinction between the two. Self-employment, where you're owning a job, and then there is also business ownership when there's a system in place, right? And the business can run on its own without you necessarily being there. So there are two options there. There are two methods that most people transition into. Most people become self-employed before they're actually a business owner. Here's the second nugget that I want you to think about here. Give yourself the space to really figure some things out. Okay. For some of you, of course, your planners out there, you're like, man, I got A, B, C, boom, boom, boom. It's clear, it's concise. I know the plan. But guess what? When you're making the transition, it may not always work that way. So just like Steve Harvey was talking about, you have that parachute and then it's not working. Yes, this is what he's talking about. You have to give yourself time to figure things out. All right. This may be a good time to really go through some planning, think about how you really want to make the transition, what you want to do. You definitely want to make sure you know what you want to do. Okay. Now, you need to find your flow. How is this going to work with you? Okay, for you. You have to identify and figure out what your flow is going to be. Okay, because realize you're so used to working hourly as an employee. There's a transition here mentally that takes place, that has to take place first before you physically make the jump and take the leap, right? So make the leap here first before you physically jump in, okay? Leap mentally and then physically do it. But it's going to take a lot of preparation here, okay? And here with your heart and with your belief. It's going to take some time. So understand that. You're programmed to working full time, but you have to now make the transition to being able to work full time with your business. The fourth nugget that I want to share with you here based on my little notes is you want to build a routine. Okay, you want to build a routine for yourself. Okay, you no longer need to crack the laptop open, or crack the laptop down at dawn and then really throw some coffee in your mouth and rush out the door. You don't have to do that now, especially if you're working from home. There's no need, because now you're working your business full time from even your home office, or you have some other community area that you're taking advantage of, and you're working your business that way. So identify your flow, build your new routine. That's what it's all about, okay? The fifth nugget, take some time to visualize your ideal day. So what does your ideal day look like as an entrepreneur? Okay, what does it look like for you? Plan that in advance. Try to as much as you can. All right. What does it look like? What are you going to do 6 o'clock in the morning? What are you going to do at 8:30 once 8:30 hits? Okay. Now it's noonday. It's in the middle of the day. It's 12 o'clock. Where do you see yourself at that particular time? Visualize your day. Number 6, get to know the real you. This is going to reveal the real you. Underneath, of course, the being comfortable. Okay, for those of you who are just so comfortable because everything is revealed and handed to you when you're working in corporate. Everything is given to you. The system, right? Because they know it works, so they gave it to you already. This is why getting involved with network marketing companies can be easier, because the system has already been established and it's been proven that it works. So again, when you get involved and you become an entrepreneur, you're starting a business from scratch, you have to really find your flow, your schedule, visualizing that day. How does that day look like? You have to begin to put these pieces together. And even as working with network marketing companies or even direct sales organizations, you still have to figure out your day. But at least, of course, you have that system planned out for you as far as how the business should really work. Some basic tasks, some basic steps, some results producing activities that they know work, and then you put them into place, okay? And you practice them. Most times, of course, your sponsor will let you know some things you need to do to really get your business going. So here's what I need you to do for step number 7. Let go. Let go, okay? Let go. Some of you are probably saying, oh my gosh, what does Lakeisha mean by let go? You're holding on to safety. Can I say that one more time? I know it's scary. Let go. It's scary, but it's worth it. It's worth it. You will be okay. And here's the reason why I'm saying this. If you have someone of great support that will be able to support you. So if you have a spouse, if you have a significant other, if you have a family member who is able to support you while you're taking this leap, Of course, that makes total sense. If you have kids, if you have people, of course, that's dependent on you to live, you have to take that in consideration as well. I'm not that type of entrepreneur or type of coach that's going to tell you to take the leap, right? And you don't have consistent income coming in from your business already, but yet you have two mouths or even just one mouth to feed. I'm not going to tell you to do that. Why? Because then you're going to say, well, Lakeisha said to take the leap. And that is not wise. That's not wisdom. When you don't have money, revenue coming in, but yet you're leaving a place that was giving you consistent money. Now, let me help you to understand something. Your job is giving you temporary income because that income belongs to them. If they go back and they take that position from you, which they can because they own the position, you have nothing. So what do you have coming in that you can say that you're working on that's consistently flowing? Many of you don't have a consistent flow. What are you waiting on to get that consistent flow built up? If you're wanting that coaching practice, if you want that speaking business, what are you waiting on to start it? Why haven't you yet connected with a coach to guide you to get going? Okay? Your job is not permanent. It is not a permanent financial situation for yourself. It is temporary because you do not own it. You don't. It's a temporary financial situation. We all know, for those of you who are spiritually minded, that God is really holding it together. Can I get an amen on that? Right? God is truly the one that's holding it together, right? But you need to make sure that you have several options for yourself. And it needs to be viable options where you're taking action. Okay? Take action. That is the key. I want to go actually into point number 8 because I can go into that for a while. I can be there all day when it comes to telling you about how temporary a job is. Okay? And I'm going to share with you how you can begin to make some shifts for yourself. Because today is MLK Day, of course, this day in which I'm recording this. I've made a post, of course, on my personal wall where I asked you, I said, I want you to reply, I have a dream. And many of you have a dream to make this transition from employee to entrepreneur full time. If you have not replied to that post on my personal wall, after this particular episode is over, has concluded, go to my personal wall. For those of you who are on the podcast, again, if you connect with me on Facebook, you'll begin to learn where I am on my personal wall, and you can connect with me there as well. But respond there so that you can get access to a group. And it's only going to be for today. Because after today, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to delete the post. So be sure you respond today so that you can take advantage of the opportunity. But point number 8, forgive. Forgive. And forgive me, of course, if I sound like I'm preaching. All right, forgive me, because this is something I'm truly passionate about, because I want you to go after your dreams hard. Go hard like you've never gone hard before. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak. So if you are weak, if you're like, man, I'm going to do this one day and I'm not going to do it the next day, I'm just going to give up. I want you to just don't even watch the show. Don't even watch the show if you're going to give up. Okay? If you're going to just throw in the towel and think that it's going to be easy, you might as well go and watch somebody else's live stream. This is not it. I'm really transparent with everyone, and especially those individuals who take me on as their coach. They know that this is part of what they see. Okay? But this is only to make you stronger. Okay? And I do adjust myself to make sure that I'm speaking according to your personalities when I'm working with you as far as coaching. But I want you to forgive yourself. This is actually point number 8. Depending on why you're making the leap, you might have some forgiveness work to do. Okay? You might. You just might. All right? So think about it. Forgiveness work involves the reason why you're thinking about making the transition, or you've done so already. So did someone on the job mistreat you? Did a boss try to take advantage of you or try to get you fired? Right? Is that part of the reason why you're making the shift and taking the leap? That is not the reason, the sole reason to do so. Okay? Financial Security, more of a financial security, or even establishing wealth could be a reason. Making a greater transition or trying to transform the lives of others, being a vehicle to transform the lives of others is a reason to go into entrepreneurship. Being your own boss, it is a reason as well. Okay? But depending on how you left the employee or at least the corporate world, that's something to think about because you want to make sure you left the right way. Okay? Give your 2-week notice. Do it the right way. Don't transition the wrong way and just say, listen, boom, drop the mic, I'm gone. Peace. No, I don't want you to do that. Some people say, just to make a statement. Let your actions make a statement. Okay? Let your actions make a statement. Number 9, I want you to think about doing this. Express deep gratitude. So, are there people who are helping you along the way? Okay? Have they put up with your crazy schedule or seeking to put up with your crazy schedule because you're trying to make this transition? Are they doing that right now? So you need to express gratitude as you're making this transition. But I also want you to do this next point here, which is welcome new connections. There are reasons why people are coming into your path and into your life right now. And even some people who are reconnecting with you. There is a reason for it, okay, to aid you in moving forward. You'll know because things happen in a season. This may be your season and it might not be your season, but you're going to know when it's the right time to take the leap and jump. Okay? You're going to know it. You're going to feel it. Okay? You're going to definitely feel it. But here's another nugget that I'm going to share with you that's dear to my heart is you need to believe in yourself. Believe in that why, the reason why you're in business. Believe in it. You see, Dr. King had a dream, right? That black men and black women, black girls and black boys, right? That we as a people, we're going to come together to form a better nation and a better world. And this dream still lives on. It's still working its way through. Of course, we have some crazy things that are going on in the world today. Can we just say crazy? It's probably beyond crazy. But it's still moving on. Okay? Still moving on. And I want you to think hard about that. Your why. Why do you want to be a full-time entrepreneur? Is it legacy driven? Is it because of your kids? Right? It's so that you can spend more time with family. Because it's those reasons why you're getting into business that's going to help you to stand. Right? You're going to stand confidently. And you're going to be able to look fear in the eye and say, listen, I'm not giving in. This is legacy that I'm moving forward with. This is my kids that I'm moving forward with. I don't want them to work as hard as I did. I don't want them to have to feel like they have to grind and worry about whether they're going to have a job or not have a job. Who wants to live that type of life? Who wants to do that? Okay? I want you to focus on the positive. If you are surrounded in an environment where there's a whole lot of naysayers, people saying that it's not going to happen, it's not going to work, you need to either remove them out of your environment or change environments. Those are really the two options you have. Or place a lot of limitation on how much time that they will be in your environment. Because for some of you, you just have to stay there, okay, because they're your support. Meaning that you don't have to worry about other responsibilities at the time. For those of you who may have a roommate or you may have a family member who is just shining some bad light on you moving forward with your dreams of being a full-time entrepreneur, don't allow them to zap you of all of your energy and zap you of your dream. Don't let them be the dream killer. You need to rise up and be more of the dream enforcer than allowing them to be more so a dream killer. So I just want you to think about that as you're moving on. And even as you're on the journey, congratulate yourself as you're making and taking some steps and achieving milestones. Okay? Do that. But here's what I want you to think about. You need to critically sit down and think about how much income truly do you need to be making right now to make the shift. Is it $2,000? Is it $3,000? What is it that you need? Then think about What methods or what systems are you going to take advantage of that's going to help you to get there to achieving that milestone of replacing your current income? All right. So is it the direct sales company that you're a part of? Now, I was a part of a few, right? And there are some, of course, who are sharing with me information still to this day, saying, Lakeisha, have you considered this particular business? I'm talking about people who are in the travel industry, people who are in the health and wellness industry, because people know that I'm very, very serious about my health, right? And I am, to be honest with you, I am looking more so towards health industry if I decide to go back there. There's really no need right now, but if I did so, and it's only, of course, to keep my own self accountable for my own health, then I look forward to really just delving into some of those options, okay, and looking at it a bit more deeply. But what plan can you put in place that's going to help you to either bring in $1,000 as a speaker, author, coach, a network marketing professional? What do you need to do to ramp up your revenue so that you can make the shift? You have to do what others won't do so that you can live like no one else will. Okay? Begin to do what no one else does. Even if that means staying up sometimes at 1 and 2 o'clock in the mornings. Most people won't do it. And this is the reason why we succeed. This is the reason why full-time entrepreneurship is not for the weak. It's for the strong. It's for those who are not willing to be like anybody else, because you're not. Your DNA is different from everybody else. It's not the same. Don't try to be like everyone else. Don't try to fit in, because you won't. You won't. Okay? So be flexible with yourself. Here's another tip. Be flexible with yourself. I know sometimes you can be so hard. You're like, man, I didn't achieve my goal for this month. I didn't achieve my passive income. I was supposed to get 4 reps, and I didn't get 4 reps to join with me this month. Don't beat yourself up. It's a numbers game. Get past all of the no's to get to the yeses. Get past the people who say they can't. Get with those people who are saying, I'm going to consider it. The income is in the follow-up. For those of you who are in network marketing or any business, really. It could be a coaching business or a speaking business. You need to follow up with people who seem like they're potential leads. And again, I'm speaking general business, not just network marketing or direct sales, but even for those of you who are speakers and authors and coaches, and you're trying to build your coaching practice or a speaking business, leads are leads, no matter what. But you need to have a system in place. Okay. Now, here's the deal. Okay. Here's the deal before we begin to wrap some things up, because, of course, on average, for those of you who are new here, the show normally is here and on live for about a half hour or so. And then we begin to transition. But here's the last thing I want to share with you. That's critical. Make sure you're listening right now. And here's what I need you to do. Let me come a little closer, right? Trust the process. Trust the process. Go with the flow. And when you know it's your season, jump. Jump. Take the leap. If you feel it ringing in your heart and you know it's time, take the leap. I'm not going to make a whole lot of noise. I'm not going to give you a whole lot of rah-rah. I'm not going to tell you to leave your job, especially if you have a whole lot of people depending on you. Don't hold on to that job out of fear, though. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to do it simply because it's the right thing to do, because you have responsibilities. But at the same time, you need to be working on this thing day in and day out. When you have the opportunity, plan your time wisely. And as a matter of fact, for those of you, again, here are 2 things I need you to do. 2 things. All right. Number 1, if you have not responded to the post on my personal wall, be sure to do that. If you need to be connected to my personal wall, go to facebook.com/L McKnight Speaks. That is my Facebook profile, personal profile. Connect with me there. If you want to connect with me on my fan page, of course, as I mentioned, it's facebook.com/leadership keynote speaker. But on my personal wall, though, there's a post that's going to be there until midnight. Be sure to respond, I have a dream, and I'm going to add you to a group where I'm going to be giving you nuggets just to help you with professional development, but it definitely will help you and aid you as you're making the transition, because you're not going to be alone. You're not going to be by yourself in this journey. Okay? Understand, of course, after midnight, in order to be able to join the group, there will be a small fee. It's not much, of course, but you're going to get access for those of you who are going to be joining the group. If you have done so already, you're going to get access for 68 days because King, he was removed from this earth in 1968. And so for 68 days, starting today, you will get access to that group for free. Okay, so I will give you the countdown and let you know when the transition will have to come, whether you're going to decide to stay in the group or not. But just to let you know, the fee is going to be probably less than a New York style pizza. All right, because I really care about your professional development. It's not about the money, because I have money. Okay, so let me put that out there. In the virtual world, I have money. I don't listen. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Okay. Also, I want you to think about this other important thing. All right. For those of you who are really stuck, you're saying, well, Lakeisha, I need some passive income. It's just, I need something that's going to be a consistent flow for me, that's going to bring in more income based on my knowledge and what it is that I have to share. Well, you're going to want to know how to market. And I have a group, I have a program where I'm actually coaching and training some individuals on how to really put together a business that's going to bring in passive income based on what you already know. So we're utilizing what you know, and we're going to help you to bring in passive income upwards to $6,000 monthly. If you want to know about that, reply, okay, on Facebook below the feed here for the live stream. Connect with me on Facebook and let me know in my inbox. Just say TKO for marketers. Okay, just below the feed, or message me in my inbox and say TKO for marketers. That's going to let me know that you want some information about it. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share. That's going to help you to get that passive income flowing. That's going to give you the necessary support as you're making this transition from employee to entrepreneurship full time. All right, everybody. Well, you've had it today, and you received it today from Lakeisha McKnight here on this particular night show. It's a pleasure being here before you. Of course, we're going to be here every Monday at 9 o'clock p.m. I'm going to try to make sure we maintain these platforms so that you can learn and tune in from whichever option that you desire from and that you choose from. But continue to connect. Share this particular thread, this podcast, this conference call with those that you know so that they can know how to develop themselves as winning leaders. So, Lakeisha McKnight, and I am tuning out. Love you guys. Be blessed. Bye-bye.